tip 3, which we kind of already got into it, is just making sure you care for your unit as you would care for your natural hair. Again, we want to get the full investment out of our unit. Even with the bundles, like honestly, of course, the bundles isn't going to have this lace part, but if you have a closure, there you go. You know what I mean? You still want to wash your hair and make sure you're taking care of it. So I will be getting into the products that you can use for your units that are the best products I would recommend based off what I've used in the past, because you want to make sure when you're shampooing your wigs or your bundles, you don't have nothing that's going to cause oil buildup. You want something that's going to actually thoroughly clean your hair. Some products, I'm not gonna lie, it's like, I don't know if it's just because of the base is more oily or something like that. It doesn't mix well with your bundles or wigs. It may work better for your natural hair because you know you want to make sure your natural hair is always moisturized. However, being that this is your weave, your extensions, and this is natural human hair, you still don't want to overload it with oils and build up, because then it's not going to be flowy. It's not going to flow in the wind. It's going to be more stiff because it's weighed down by the oils. So I'll have another video later about the different products that you can use when taking care of your wigs that I would definitely recommend because I've used them myself. However, just getting into this third tip, I just want to make sure I call out taking care of the unit and your bundles. Your hair needs to be taken care of. When you wash your hair, it's going to definitely give you a whole refreshed look. It'll honestly feel like you just bought them again. And I always prefer, I know some people are like, I haven't heard of that, but I've seen people blow dry their unit or their bundles and or units, and if that's something that you prefer to do, I'm not going to stop you from doing what you've been doing. However, I personally don't prefer that because I feel like it can kind of strip the hair itself. And remember, with this unit, you do have it attached to lace and it's still attached to a weft. So if you're like using the comb blow dry and you going through it after it's like, still kind of damp, that is still putting tension on your unit, and it's actually putting tension on the wefts. So you will you may end up saying that your lace starts to thin, like the hair is coming out and your lace looks thin, so this looks more flat than full, and then you may see that the back starts to thin out a little bit more than compared to when you first had the unit. So I always advise letting your bundles or wigs air dry, especially if you bleach or you're coloring your unit or wigs. Please let them air dry, because you just don't want to add any additional tension that's going to pull the strands or put tension on the unit. Again, going back to taking care of your unit and or extensions the same way you would take care of your natural hair. You don't want to put all that tension on your hair because it's going to pull it out. Simple as that. And if you are investing in these units and or bundles, you want them to last. I know you don't want to just keep buying hair just to buy hair and then you're trying to figure out where you're going wrong with it. You want it to be flowy. You want it to be bouncy. We want to have it moving, okay? So these are the tips that you need to make sure your hair is always fabulous. So that is the final tip as far as making sure, you maintain your hair and keeping your wigs, bundles as low maintenance as possible. Granted, when it comes to bundles, the elastic band really isn't going to be beneficial as far as advice. And then of course, like the scalp illusion, it's helpful for if you do have a closure. If you do get a closure and you're about to get a sew-in, that is actually a helpful tip, because if you're like, you don't prefer the bleaching, go ahead and get a product or something similar to this, and voila, that avoids the bleaching and all of that. And you can just tell your stylist, if you go to a stylist to get it sewn in and everything, because I know some people do them themselves, you can just let them know, I don't need it bleached, it's already prepped and ready for it to just be sewn down. So I will be dropping again next week. I will be showing y'all kind of like how I prep my hair for my wigs, just because I know that I always talk about me, you know, what I do and how I like plait my hair down, but I've never really like got into detail of like how it looks, because I know people are like, do you do like how many braids do you do? Do you like 10 to 12? Do you do the flat twist? Do you do French braids? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I make it as simple as possible because I do not like being in the mirror too long. I don't like standing up in the bathroom too long. So that would be my next spiel that I will share with y'all. And again, just background on these little tips and tricks and video blogs for the hair page. It's more rooted again from me wanting to make sure that all of the people that I come into contact with, whether you bought hair from me, whether you haven't, whether you just been following my page and just keeping up with the growth and just interested to see where we go next, I just want to make sure that you receive the most helpful and beneficial information that you can when it comes to wigs or hair extensions, because like always, you can always get the hair from anybody. Everybody, you know, there's multiple people. Everybody has their own preference. I'm not going to control where you spend your money because that is your money. However, what I can control is what I put out as it relates to my business and how I want people to feel when they do get their case hair extensions. And I want to make sure that you have all the information necessary to be empowered with your investment. So if you have any questions about any of the tips that I've shared so far, feel free to reach out to me in a DM. If you have questions about bundles, how to go about purchasing, my website link is in my bio. However, if there's any confusion, feel free to reach out to me, y'all. I do not bite. Let me know what you're confused about. And again, I will have a sale dropping at the end of this month. So make sure you follow my page. You stay up to date with my content. It will be consistent here on out. Again, I just had to take a little bit of a break, and usually I take July as a break anyways, and I shut down the site. But this year I decided I'm not going to shut the site down because, you know, it's still people that wanted to purchase hair. So I still have the site up, but I had to kind of like rethink and reframe my approach moving forward, because again, it's not just about purchasing the hair, it's about also knowing what to do after the purchase. So again, always remind yourself that your hair is an investment, whether it's natural, your bundles, or your wigs, and continue to come back here to learn more tips and tricks on how you can continue to remain fabulous with your hair. All right, y'all, I will talk to you later. Again, let me know in the comments if it would be helpful for those bands, the adjustable elastic bands, to be sold a la carte. I know I have a lot of more divas that are getting confident and comfortable with installing their own units. I just want to make sure you have all the necessary tools as possible. And just to call out, there is a KHE starter kit that I do sell, and that includes all of the tools necessary for you to install your unit on your own, as well as all the products that you need to just make sure it's as seamless as possible. So if you are looking to get a unit and you also want to make sure you have everything that you need, it includes got to be I can't even get it out got to be gel, the holding gel that I used before to lay my units down when I did want to try non-glue associated adhesives. It will also come with some lace tape. And then it comes with, now I have started including the adjustable elastic band, because I know that that is a great way to ensure that you have a adhesiveless unit and it is taut and fit to your liking. So that's the tea, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, divas.